What's up? It's Lugo back again with Fat to Fit day 75. Today we had a nice push day going on. I swapped out a lot of exercises. Today the main movement was this cambered bar or Duffalo bar bench. And it felt pretty good, honestly. Like from switching to close grip and straight to this, not taking off any weight and just going straight into the weight that I was doing with close grip, it felt good. I didn't feel like I was straining my pecs or my triceps or anything. It felt good. I felt strong, and I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out as well. Like it wasn't overly hard, or it wasn't really that hard at all anyway. Um, which is what this day is for bench at least. And then everything else was pretty fucking great. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was a good workout, and it's probably because I had a copious amount of Taco Bell the night before, and I went up like 2 pounds from my rest day, which is kind of shitty, but it's probably a lot of salt, not really a lot of actual weight. So I'll be back to normal tomorrow, but uh, it was uh, it was very good. I'll tell you that, but I really feel like I've been tapping into another gear with training lately, feeling insanely focused, feeling pretty strong, and really hoping that, well, not really hoping because hoping would mean that I'm not doing anything, to be honest, but really trying to lock in as hard as I can to get the weight down. And it's kind of unfortunate that I have to drop my calories lower, but I'm just not losing where I would want to be losing in the calorie range, so I have to drop them down. Um, and obviously, besides the few days, maybe 1 day a week where I'm eating not so great, I've been pretty strict about it, and I've started dropping again. Like even just from 308 this week, I went to 305, then 302, and then I ate kind of like shit yesterday, so I'm 304, knowing that tomorrow I'll be back down for sure, dropping the water weight. Hopefully, I'm like 302 again, maybe 301. But for now, just enjoying enjoying the strength that comes with eating a lot from last night. But I'm really enjoying training, and I am switching stuff out, trying some new stuff, some more bodybuilding oriented movements. I really enjoyed this dumbbell shoulder press. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel not so strong on these. Like last week, I felt weak, but this week I felt strong on these slight incline shoulder press. Which again, I think I've said this before in one of my other videos, but I really enjoy doing shoulder movements, whether it's with the barbell, with a dumbbell, with a machine, but machines really aren't adjustable like that. Specifically, like dumbbell and barbell, I like doing them with a slight incline. It just feels way better. Feels like get a better contraction on my shoulders, and it feels like I'm less snap city on those, um, which is always nice. You never want to snap your shoulders up, but this is probably one of my favorite chest movements. The seated cable fly, uh, going a little bit too fast on these. Honestly, I think I'm rushing them a little bit too much, but I still had a really good deep stretch on my pecs, and I felt the contraction pretty deeply in my chest, and then I just repped out some partials when I was done. But overall, one of my favorite chest movements of all time. Really like fly movements. I think if you're not doing any flies in your chest training, you're really missing out uh, on some good chest development, and as well as not really stressing the pressing muscles as much, like uh, triceps, because we're already working them a lot, especially after regular training. But flies are just really important in general for chest development, whether it's just a pec deck, a cable fly standing, or the way that I like to do them seated to get more support. But I think they're all good. You should do them all, put them in your training, and I know that the seated variations are not very accessible because you need so much equipment, which is why I come this early just so I can do some of the more niche movements that I like to do that involve two cables and a bench. It's just not possible when there's a lot of people around. It's kind of just you feel like a dickhead taking them, and sometimes you can't even get one cable later. So I enjoy training when nobody's around, specifically just for that. Don't have to worry about waiting for shit, doing other shit, um, and it feels nice. Um, I wasn't sure how I felt about this. I about this movement in particular. I wasn't sure if I was extending all the way, but watching these, definitely was, and they felt good. But I just wasn't sure. Yeah, like if I was getting full extension at the bottom. But I'm glad I was at least for most of them. Very nice movement. And then I tried another one here with the cables, which is some laying Y raises. And it kind of looks extremely dumb because I had a cuff, and then the other one was like a little fucking band or something, which didn't end up working out. But I did get some cuffs from my hypertrophy coach, which is a bodybuilding coach, because I needed them. Kind of need a pair that's good, that's gonna get a lot of weight on the stack, and not gonna fucking unclip. Like I tried to do an overhead extension with the cuff that I bought from fucking Timu like a few months ago, and it just unclipped. So I'm excited for that because I've never really had good cuffs, and I really like doing single arm movements, especially for a movement like this for laterals or single arm push down with a cuff or overhead extension with the cuff. I really enjoy doing all those movements, bodybuilding centric stuff. Just feels good, and it really isolates the muscle well, which is what we're trying to do on stuff outside of the big three. If you're a power lifter or just in general, um, and I do bilateral a lot of bilateral stuff as well. But I really do enjoy doing having a day where I do unilateral stuff mainly for, my body parts because I do have a pretty dominant side. Less now, I think, than before, because I've trained a lot of my left side. Um, so it's become a little bit more even, but I still have a lean to the right when I squat. Left quad is still weaker and smaller by a little bit. And the same really goes for all my left side because it's just my weak side. My right side's my dominant side. So I've always tried to even it out since I started bodybuilding because for a long time I didn't. Maybe for like the first, man, how long was I training? For like the first 4 years that I trained, I kind of just let the imbalance rock. And really it was since I started bodybuilding centric training pretty hard intensely when I was like 21. I did it for like 6 months and then I stopped lifting for about a year and a half to 2 years. Just recently coming back and then doing the bodybuilding centric training again. I've really started to focus on unilateral training more and you know fixing my imbalances. And I think that it goes a long way for powerlifting. If you're a powerlifter, obviously need it as a bodybuilder because you need symmetry, you need balance, and you need as little imbalances as you can get when you're trying to build a good physique or build good strength. And I think it's important. I think it's often overlooked because people say it's a waste of time, or why would I do unilateral when I could just do bilateral? But small imbalances are still imbalances, and they will trickle have a trickle effect when it comes to your training. And I think it's just important to just do some, if any at all, right, in your training. And I know it takes a lot of time because you got to go one at a time. You got to maybe rest between sets. But I always just start with my weak side and match with my right, because then my right's just going to be stronger anyway. So I just do with my left what I can, and then do my right side. And sometimes I even just do one more or one less on my right side so that way my left side can catch up. And I've noticed that it has been working. My left side is looking pretty good. Not gonna lie, and I'm pretty happy about it. Here I just did some pose downs. Doing some tracking here. Probably gonna just do this after every session, just so I can see where I'm at and have something to compare. I was thinking progress photos, but I feel like videos are just so much better. And honestly, I forget to take progress photos until after I eat. So just doing it after training is just so much easier. Quick little 2 to 5 minute pose down will get me right and show me where I'm at, especially for given muscle groups. So just we'll do this from now on. Uh, but it's progressing. We're moving along. I've stated my goals before, but under 300, getting my strength back, trying to bench over 300 as well again. Squat over 4, deadlift over 5. Those are pretty much the short term goals for now, but this video has come to an end. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 75.